Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how you can build a car listing website completely for free, okay? And by the end of this tutorial, you'll end up with a beautiful website like this one here, with your logo on top, a hero section with your main heading and subheading. You have a search feature, obviously, you have all the main categories displayed here, so it could be Audi, BMW, and so on and so on. You have your most recent listings being displayed on the homepage immediately, and then we have a footer section as well. Now, if you go back on top, we can create our own listings. So your visitors, this is basically a marketplace where visitors can upload their own listings themselves. And if you click on this, you can also charge them a little money as well with different plans. As you can see, you can offer a free plan, you can have a simple listing and a featured listing as well. And once they've selected their plan, they can upload their new listing. So let's select here Audi, for instance, and then all the different options being shown here. So once you fill that out, so let's say perhaps something like this, you put all the different options and then scroll down the page, submit listing. You'll get a confirmation that the listing was posted. Now if we go back to the home page and you scroll down, as you can see, our car is now uploaded on the website. So if you click on this, you have the single page listing, and there it is. Okay, so the very first step is to click on the link in the description below where it says get hosting now, and this will bring you to the Hostinger website. So as you can see here, this is a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger. So that means that we have negotiated the best terms possible for our audience. So by using the link in the description below, you'll have access to up to 91% discount, so depending on seasonal offers, of course. And I'm also going to provide you a coupon code Mr. Web Reviews that will give you access to an additional 10% discount. And then from here, all you have to do is either click on this button here, start now, scroll down the page, and here you can select which web hosting you want to go for. So let's click on select. And now from here, you have to select your billing cycle. As you can see, you have 4 different options. So let's say if you selected 1 year, this will give you access to 76% discount. If you selected 2 years, again, 76% discount. And if you selected 4 years on the longest billing cycle, you get a whopping 80% discount. So you're saving altogether $480 altogether. So this is massive discount you can get access to. And I'm going to give you a coupon code for even additional extra savings. So click on have a coupon code and here enter all in capital letters Mr. Web Reviews and then click apply. And there you go. Instead of $480 savings, now you save $488 in total. So incredible savings to be made. And then scroll down the page and then select your payment method and proceed to checkout. And now that you're registered with them, you can go back to the home page and click login here, and then you can log into your account. So before you can use their services, you have to confirm that this is you. So normally they would have sent you an email confirmation. If you haven't received it, you can always click on resend activation email, then go to your mailbox and click on the link that's inside that email, okay? And then it will bring you back here and then you'll be okay. So once you've clicked on that link in the email, you can refresh your page and that message should disappear normally. Okay, very good. So as you can see, that message is now gone. So the next step is to claim our free domain. So when you build a website, obviously you need a domain name, and this is kindly provided for free as part of your premium shared hosting. So all we have to do now is to click on claim domain, and right here you're going to type in the domain name that you'd like to register. So for instance, let's say Mr. Web Bookstore, okay, as an example here, and then you can select your extension. So you have .in for India, .me for personal account, .com, which is the most popular one, and you can select among a few different options here. So let's go ahead with the .com, for instance, and then after that you check the availability. So click on this. And as you can see, this one, fortunately enough, is available. So all we have to do after this is click claim domain and then fill out your details. So you have to select your country. So we're based in Ireland ourselves. And then you select if it's for personal or business use. And then enter your details and then continue. And there you go. As you can see, now you need to confirm that you are the rightful owner of that domain name. So you should have received an email again. Go and open that email in your mailbox, click the link inside that email, and then come back to this page. And now you can see that your domain name is fully registered. So now we can come back to the home page. And the next step is to set up our hosting. As you can see here, premium shared hosting is pending setup. So let's click on this. So from here, click start now. You can skip this step altogether. From here, select create a new website. Now we're going to select our CMS platform, content management system, which is WordPress. Select. And from here, make sure that you take this box here, add WooCommerce, because this is the plugin that we need to create an e-commerce website. And then click continue. We're not going to select any of those templates. Click this link here, skip, I don't need a template. and then you choose the domain name. So this is the one we just registered, or you can link another one. That's really up to you. So let's click select. And one last step before we finish our setup is to select the server location. So as you can see, you can select among all these different options. So select either the one that's the nearest to you or the nearest to your target audience, obviously, you know. So let's say if most of your visitors are coming from America, you can select among two different options. You have USA or Arizona, and then you have North Carolina. So again, East Coast, West Coast, really up to you. Maybe if your customers are based in Europe, you might select one based in Europe. So in our case here, we're based in Ireland, so we might select Lithuania, which is probably the nearest, and then click change, and then finish setup. And there you go. As you can see, well done, you are ready. So basically everything's been taken care of. So we've registered the domain name, we set up our hosting and the SSL certificate, WordPress, and the theme has been installed all together for us in just one click of the mouse. So super easy to use. And now from here you can decide whether you want to go to your WordPress dashboard and start editing your website, or do you want to go back to the hosting or control panel. So let's go back to our control panel. Very good, and as you can see here, your website is running smoothly, no issues were found, which is absolutely perfect. So from here, basically, you have access to everything, your file manager, your database, your WordPress dashboard, etc., etc. So now I'm just going to show you one more thing, which is how to create emails linked to your domain name. So for this, we go to emails, click on this, email accounts, and then click on the account to which you want to create emails for. Very good, and now let's click on this one here, the big plus sign. And from this screen, all you have to do is put the email address that you want to create. So for instance, bookings@taxibookingwebsite.com. It could be info@, maybe accounts@, sales@, or maybe your name@, whichever you want, okay? And then insert a password, and then let's click create. And there you go. As you can see, info@taxibookingwebsite.com was created. Now you can create as many as you want, obviously. So after this, we can go back to our website now, and from here you can either manage your website or edit the website. So if you click on edit website, this will bring you to the WordPress dashboard. So let's click on this together. Okay, so welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So from here, we're going to do a bit of cleaning up, you know, so we can dismiss this message. And now we're going to get rid of some of the plugins here by the side because we don't need all of them, obviously, you know. So we go to the plugins section. We're going to bulk select them all. We're just gonna keep Lightspeed Cache here, so untick this one, and for the rest you can deactivate, apply. And then let's do the same thing again, so bulk select them all, scroll down, untick Lightspeed Cache, and then delete, apply, and then OK again. So there you go, guys. Now we have a much cleaner working environment, and it's much easier for us to put things in place, obviously, you know. So let's have a quick look at our website. So if we hover on the title, visit site, right click, and then open in a new tab. So this is basically what it looks like at the moment. So there's nothing fantastic here. It's quite basic, to be honest, you know, but don't worry, we're going to install a theme and also all the necessary plugins to take care of this now. Okay, so we go back to our WordPress dashboard. From there we go to appearance, themes, add new, and right here you're going to look for listing hive, all in one word as well, you know, no spaces. So there it is. Now we're going to click install and then activate. Very good. So as you can see, this plugin requires to install a few plugins as well. So we're going to begin the installation. There's only one actually, so click install. So now we can return to the plugin installer and then activate it. That's it basically. So if you go back to the dashboard here to refresh everything, as you can see now by the side we have Hive price, listings, and vendors, which are the essential sections that we need to set this up now. Okay, so let's go back to the front end, let's refresh. And as you can see, the theme is installed, but there's no information, there's no data, no nothing here, obviously. So now we need to import the demo content, which is going to make our life much easier as well. Okay, so we go back here, and this time we go back to plugins. We're going to add a new one again, and this one is called one-click import. So you just look for one click. So there it is, one-click demo import. Install now, then activate. And now we can dismiss all these messages. There's no need for them. There you go, perfect. So from here, if you go to appearance now, import demo data, And there you go. So that's basically it, you know. And right here you can import an XML file. So we need to go and fetch that file, obviously. So this is on the actual Hivepress website. So if you go to their website, you go to themes and then listing Hive. Again, I'll leave the link in the description. Don't worry, you know. All you have to do is click on this link here, download the demo content file. There you go. And then we can save it somewhere on our hard drive, okay? There you go. So I can close this now. Let's go back to the WordPress dashboard, and now we can upload that file onto our website. Okay, so let's click on select a file, and the file we downloaded is a zip file, so it's an archive file. You have to extract that first, okay? And then you have this file here called content.xml. Click open, and then let me remove myself. Right here we have a button that says continue and import, so click on this. And that's basically it. Now it's going to start running the import of our website, and it's just going to take a few minutes, you know. So just be patient. Now I'm just going to pause here the video, and I'll meet you guys again once it's completed. So there you go, guys. As you can see, the import is now complete. So let's go back to the front end and let's refresh and see what happens. So there it is. As you can see, we have some content now, and this seems to be working fine. So let's go to the home page. So there you go, as you can see, with the hero section, the search box, our different categories, etc, etc. So clearly at the moment, it's not related to cars, but don't worry, we're going to tweak this around and make it our own, so it will reflect our theme today, which is to have a car listing website, okay? So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard again. Okay, very good. So by the side, we have 3 tabs here that we're going to use to configure our website. So we have Hivepress here. So this is basically all our settings and additional add-ons and extensions that we can use. So we go through this at the end of our video, but now we're going to focus on the listings. So basically the listings, this is where you're going to upload all your cars basically, okay? And then you have vendors as well if you want to turn this into a marketplace where everyone can upload their own cars for sale, etc, etc. Okay, so first we're going to take care of our listing. So this is basically where all your products will be listed, so all our cars in our case here, okay? So before we can create one, we'll have to take care of 2 things. So we have the categories and the attributes, okay? So in categories, as you can see, we have for sale, real estate, and services. So we can bulk select them all and then delete them, apply. And now we're going to create our own categories now, okay? So these will be basically the main structure of your website. So depending how you want to organize your website. So for instance, you could have different types of vehicles. You can have motorbikes, maybe cars, maybe trucks and tractors, and maybe quad bikes or something like this. Then you could break this down immediately right from here. So these are categories, okay? Or maybe you want to break this down differently by car manufacturers. So you could have Audi, BMW, Citroën, Peugeot, Mercedes, and so on and so on. So this would be the main structure of your website, okay? So in our case here, we're going to use the car manufacturer's name. So let's create the first one together. So let's say Audi, okay? And then with the slug, so basically after your domain name, so yourdomainname.com / and then the category name will display after that, you know? So in this case, it could be Audi, maybe second hand cars or something like this, okay? You could add a description as well. This will help with SEO, and then we can upload an image. So we're going to need this obviously because in the front end on our homepage, we're going to display all these categories as well. So select image. So I'm going to just upload a few here that I found online, okay? So if I go here, I found these few here. So we're just going to create 5 categories together here, okay? And then select image. That's basically it. And then add category, okay? And then we can do the same with the second one. So let's go with BMW here, BMW used cars, for instance, okay? And then we can remove this and select our image. And this time we're going to select a BMW. I think this is the one. And again, add category. And now let me create the other ones very quickly, okay? So there you go, I just created 5, you know, but obviously we'd add all the different car manufacturers. So we have Mercedes, Land Rover, Citroën, BMW, and Audi. So let me refresh this page now. And as you can see, they are organized alphabetically, obviously, you know, but if you wanted to organize them differently, you can always use the order here. So you could order them differently, reorganize them the way you want it, obviously, you know. So you could add a number here, and maybe Mercedes could be second, and so on and so on. So this is really up to you, okay? So now we have our categories done. Now let's take care of our attributes this time. So let's go to this section here, attributes, and as you can see, this is normally for maybe a real estate website or something like this, you know, square footage, type, rent, warranty, hourly rate, and all that. So we don't need all of this, obviously, you know. So again, what we're going to do is just bulk select them all, and then move to trash, apply. Very good. Now you can go to the trash as well, select again, and delete permanently, apply. Very good. So now we can create new ones, okay? So we're going to add a new one. So what are attributes? Well, basically it's all the specs of your car, basically, you know. So when you buy a car, you want to know things like what's the mileage, which color is it, has it full service, how many previous owners, maybe how many seats, and then all the options, obviously, you know, does it have sat nav navigation and things like this, okay? So let me show you how we can create this. So let's create our first attribute. So let's say options, for instance, okay? Because you want to know what's included in the car, obviously, you know. So what type of field is this? So you have the choice among few different options here with check boxes, email, embed numbers, phone, radio button, select, and so on and so on. So quite a few things, you know. So in our case here for the options, maybe you want to give your visitors a few different options available, and then you can simply tick which ones are actually included in the car, okay? So this would be check boxes, plural, obviously, you know. So we need to give this a name. So let's call this options. And then now we can click publish. And as you can see, we get an error message here, is because it has to be all in lower cases. So let's type options all in lower cases and then publish. Very good. And now we can edit our options. So let's click on this. And now we can create all the terms, basically. So when someone clicks on the options, what's underneath? So now here we can list all the different options that they can choose from, okay? So let's say sat nav navigation, okay? So let's add this one, and then we could add maybe air conditioning, and then add option. What else could we have? We could have, well, I suppose you might have central locking as well, immobilizer. So there you go, I added a few here. You could have ABS, cruise control, fog light, heated seat, alarm, or whatever, you know. So all these are the options. So if you go back to our attributes now, click on option again. So we took care of the editing side, which is basically setting up our terms, basically, and all the list of all the different options. And now we're going to set this up for the search box and display as well. So basically, would you like to use this as a search feature? If this is the case, tick this box. This should be normally indexable as well. And the type of field, again, select the exact same, you know. So this is for the front end. What will it look like in the front end, okay? And again, it will be check boxes, okay? So now we can select an icon for this. Let's see if a list is available. Okay, we can select a list like this. This would be fine, you know. Now let's go back here. We need to select the categories to which this applies. So normally it should be all of them. So you tick all these, basically, you know. Okay, so all your cars, and now click update. And that's us done for attribute number one. So let's go back here now. Okay, so now let's create another one together, okay? Just to show you what's feasible here. So let's click on add new. So let's say, for instance, you want to know what's the mileage of the car. Obviously, if you're selling second-hand cars, it's an important piece of information. So again, the field name, this is going to be the exact same, but remember, all in lower cases. And this time, this is going to be either number or text. So just to be sure, we were just going to select numbers, so they can only enter digits, you know. And then right here, that's basically it, all the options we need. And this will apply again to all the cars, all the different models, and then we can click publish. Okay. Now, if you want to make this searchable in the front end, you can enable this again. Is this indexable? Absolutely is. And then what type of field do you want to show? So it could be, for instance, in this case, a number range, you know, so they could use the slider and say, I don't want the car to be more than 80,000 miles or something like this. Okay, so we're going to select number range. Okay, and again, after this, don't forget to click update once more. Let's go back to the attributes. So at the moment, we have all the options. We have the mileage. And let me create another few now very quickly, okay? So there you go, guys. I created a few here. So we already had options and mileage. So now we have the engine size. Is there a warranty? If so, how long is it? And is there finance available, and what's the fuel type? Obviously you would have a more extensive list than this, but it's just to show you how it works here. Okay, so now that we've created our categories and our attributes, now we can go to our listing. Okay, so if you go to listings here, so what we can do is first delete all of them. Okay, and we're going to start afresh from scratch. Okay, so bulk select them all and then move to trash, apply, and now you can go to the trash, bulk select them all and delete permanently, apply. Very good. So let's go back to our listing, and now we can create a new one. Okay, so let's add new. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So what do we have here? Well, we have the title, the description, we have the car manufacturer, basically our category, you know, and underneath here we have the vendor. So this is a multi-vendor platform, but you don't have to have it as a multi-vendor platform. You can use it for yourself as well if you're like a dealership or something. Okay, so if you go to vendors here, open in a new tab, as you can see we have Brian Peterson right here. Now what you want to do is to create your own account if you're planning to upload it yourself. So that means that in the front end, if someone goes to the vendors, your name, you'll see the whole listing related to yourself. Okay, so what we need to do now is to basically add a new one. So I'm just going to add Mr. Web here. Okay, so your description goes here, and then we can upload an image. So we have a few images already, so let's select this one here, set image, and then publish. So that's basically it. So now we have the vendor set up, so we can close this now, and let's go back to our car here, and let's refresh our page to reload this. And as you can see, now we can select our vendor. So I'm going to just put Mr. Web here. There you go. So let's select this, and now we can create our first listing. Okay, so let's call this one maybe BMW 320D. Okay, and again our description will go here. So I found the description online, so I'm just going to paste it here, and now we need to select our category. So this is very important, you know, because this is going to actually trigger all the different attributes that we created. So now if we click publish, there you go. If you scroll down the page, now we have all our different options right here. So as you can see, now we can select what are the different options. We can enter the mileage, the size of the engine, the warranty, and so on and so on. Okay, so let's say this one has ABS, air conditioning, has central locking, cruise control, fog lights. It doesn't have heated seats, maybe immobilizer and sat-nav navigation. The mileage, let's say this one has 50,000. The engine in cc maybe is to 3,200, so 3.2 liters. The warranty in months, let's say maybe 12 months. Is finance available, yes or no? Let's say no for this one. And the fuel type for this one might be, let's say diesel, it's a 320D. Okay, so here we can upload our image as well. So let's select one. So I found this one online. Let's open this, and of course you can upload more than one image, you know. So once you're done, click update, and that's basically it. We're done already. So let's have a quick preview. So there you go. As you can see, we have our title here, our image, the vendor here, Mr. Web, and a description as well. So there are no mention here of the attributes. All the options and all that, they're not displaying at the moment. So the reason why we haven't taken care of this is because we need to show this first, and then I can explain it to you how this works. Okay, so we go back to our WordPress dashboard. We go to the attributes that we created. Okay, and now we go to options, for instance. Yeah, you scroll down the page. This is how you're going to display this in the front end. So you will have to do that with all your attributes, obviously, you know. So the first thing we need to select here is where you want to display them in the front end. So you have 4 different options. So normally it should be either page primary or page secondary. If it's secondary, it'll display after the description, basically, okay, which is most likely the case here. And then what's the format? As you can see, you have %, value, %. So this is basically the variable that will display. So what we need here is basically to put what it is. So we could type options available, semicolon, and then the values. Okay, and then you could maybe put this underneath, whichever you prefer. So let me show you quickly. If we click update now, and we go back to our page, so at the moment there is no options here. Now if we refresh, there you go. As you can see here, there are options available, and then it says here ABS, air condition, and they're all listed here immediately in the front end. Okay, and then obviously you would do the same with the other attributes. So if you go to mileage, then scroll down the page again, you select the area where you want to display this, page secondary, and then right here you type mileage, semicolon, and then the value. Okay, and then again click update. And let's do the same with the others. So there you go, that's all done for all of these now. So let's go back here, let's refresh. And there you go, as you can see, all the information now is displayed here. We have options available, the mileage, you have the engine size, the warranty, the finance, and the fuel type. So this is basically how you can tweak the front end and your listing itself, okay? So let's scroll back up again. As you can see, it's not really easy to use. It's not really pleasing to the eye, obviously, you know. So if you wanted to tweak this around, we can use a bit of HTML coding as well. You can insert that as well. So if you go back here, let's take the options here as an example. So as you can see, we have our title here, so we could put this in bold and maybe underline as well, okay? And then we can close these, so close brackets for the underline and close brackets for the bold statement as well. Very good. So now let's click update and let's refresh. And there you go, that's a lot better already, isn't it? And we could even change the size of the font here if you wanted to, you know. So let's go back here, let's scroll down, and we can change this to a span section, you know, and then we can add a little style. So style equal, and then we're going to say font size, semicolon, and then 12 pixels, okay? And then we're going to close our span brackets here, okay? So let's update. And now let's have a quick look again. Let's refresh. And there you go. This is much neater, you know, and you might want to do that with the others, obviously. So I did that very quickly. So let's have a quick refresh here. And there you go. As you can see, this is a lot better, isn't it? So now let's scroll back on top of our page. As you can see, we have our category. If you hover on top, you can click on it, and it will bring us to the BMW category page where all the BMWs are being displayed, obviously, you know. So remember, we added an image here for our category, which is displaying here in the background, and this is the one we just created. So by the side, as you can see, all these options are right here. So you can narrow this down by car that have air conditioning or alarm system or central locking. You can select by mileage, by engine size, and you can even select with or without finance, and so on and so on. So as you can see, you can narrow down your searches very easily now, thanks to all these attributes that we created. So that's basically it for our product page, the single page, and we also have the category page taken care of. Now let's go back to our home page. And there you go. So as you can see, this is not really as the way we want it. So let's design this together now, okay? So we go back to our WordPress dashboard. We go to pages, and we're going to edit the home page, okay? So click on this. Okay, so this page was built using Gutenberg, which is the built-in page editor that comes in with WordPress, okay? So as you can see, you have the heading, subheading, and let's have a quick look here, but we have no image here in the background. So let's add the image first, okay? So as you can see here, let me put myself on the other side. So as you can see, I have the featured image. So if you click on this, you can set the featured image right here, okay? So let's click on this, let's upload a new file. I found one online that looks like a very nice banner like this, you know. So set featured image. So this is the image now. So let's click update. Let's go into the front end and let's refresh. There you go. As you can see, the image is here in the background, but we don't see much, obviously, you know. So we might have to change this basically and reorganize it differently. So if you click on the image now, you can edit this image altogether, you know. So if you click on crop, you might want to remove some of it and just show the car mainly, you know, just like this, and then click crop again. There you go, and then you can save it. That's it. And now we can save this as the featured image. And now if we go back to the home page again and refresh, as you can see, now we can see the car in the background, okay? So this is one way of doing it. In a few minutes, I'll show you how you can do that using Elementor as well. This is Gutenberg, okay? So this is fine. And then now we can change the text here, obviously, to reflect the purpose of our website, okay? So let's change our main heading here. And for this, all you have to do is just type away, you know, highlight this, and then you can change this for something else. So maybe used cars in Knoxville and surrounding. So this way your visitors will know exactly where you're based, where the cars are located, and it's maybe easier for them to find out, you know. And then here underneath you can do the same again. Instead of search properties, service, and item for sale on a single site, you can change this for something else. So let's say, so perhaps something like this, you know, find the best deals on second-hand cars from car dealers, brokers, and private individuals, okay? So this way your visitors know exactly what to expect. So underneath we have the search feature here, so there's nothing we can change here at the moment. We'll go through this in the settings later on, okay? So we have the top categories here, so this is our heading. So you might change this to something else. This is really up to you. Again, all you have to do is just to type. Now if you go just underneath, as you can see, we have a new block here called listing categories. Okay, so at the moment it's not displaying anything because we have to select which categories we want to display. As you can see, you have the parent category. So if you have categories, subcategories, we can use this. In our case, we don't have categories, subcategories, you only have main categories. So all we have to do is to select in which order we want to display them, by name or by item count. So let's say if you had a category with 55 cars in it, the other one with 170 items, and the other one maybe 200, the one with 200 will display first, obviously. So let's go by name here just to keep it simple, okay? And just like that, as you can see now with Audi, BMW, Citroën, and then you can define exactly how many you want to show. So as you can see, you have 3 columns at the moment, but maybe you want 4 columns altogether, okay? In which case you can increase the number of categories you want to display. As you can see now, we have 4 of them displaying here, but you can keep maybe 3 and display 6 in total, which means that we'll have 2 rows of 3 categories, okay? So again, this is really up to you, how many you want to display. The options are right here, okay? So let's go down to the next one. So recent listings. So these are the latest updated cars, basically, the latest listings, exactly as it says. And again, same principle here. How many of them do you want to display? So at the moment it says 3 here, and obviously we only see 1. So I had to create a few more. Obviously we only had 1 initially. This is the first one we just designed. So I just added another 6. So now we have 7 items in total. So if we update and refresh, we'll be able to see all the cars now. So let's refresh this together. Very good. So let's scroll down, and as you can see now we have our cars here being displayed. And again, it's the same principle. If you click on this, you can define how many columns you want to display and how many in total. So again, we have 6 of them being displayed, but again, it's a matter of choice. It's up to you to decide how many you want. And that's basically it. And again, you have 2 different options, as you can see: display only featured listings and display only verified listings. So this is an option as well you can add on top of it. You know, if someone uploads a listing, it could be pending, and then you approve it, and only when approved, when it's verified, then it will display. You know, it's just to make sure. You can have a 2-step verification like this as well put in place. So that's basically it for the home page. So now let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. So now let me show you very quickly another method of creating your home page, basically, where you will have more control over it, is by using Elementor, basically. Okay, so if you go to plugins, add new, we're going to look for Elementor, which is another page builder. Install now, then activate. Very good. Now we can go to pages and add a new one. Let's call this one Home Elementor. Okay, so publish, and now edit with Elementor. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a header and footer section. They're already here, and now we can insert whatever we want right here ourselves, you know. So again, we have more control over the finished product here. So let's say we're going to insert first hero section. So there you go, perhaps something like this, you know. Obviously you have to design this to fit your own requirements and spend a bit more time. It's just to give you an idea here. Okay, so you would have your hero section, and underneath we have our car listing. So now we can create a new structure, full width, just like this. And if you go to your widgets, scroll down straight at the bottom here, we have all the Hive-Press widgets here that we can insert. As you can see, of the listing categories, listings, the search box as well. So if you were to put this here, as you can see, now we have the search feature. So we can create another one now. Now let's add our listing underneath. So we go right here, so we could have listings or listing categories. So let's redesign the exact same page we had initially. So there you go, we have this now. But again, with this, you can add a margin, you can add padding all around. So if I wanted to add maybe 100 pixels on top, 100 at the bottom, I can space this out a little bit, and now we can create another one, and let's add our categories this time. Okay, our listing, sorry. So let's drag and drop just like this, and again we have all our cars here, and let's say we want to display 6 of them all together, and here they are, you know. And now obviously you can insert a heading as well if you wanted to in between, you know. So here you could type in our favorite cars and so on and so on. So this is just another way of designing the homepage using Elementor. I thought it was worth mentioning it, you know. Okay, so now let's take care of our vendors. So basically this is a marketplace, so your visitors can upload their own listings. Obviously, if you enable that feature, you will have vendors on your website, obviously, you know. So as you can see at the moment, we didn't create any categories or attributes. All we have basically is just a simple user here that can be created. All you have is the name, a small description, and the image basically, okay? So that's all we have at the moment. But again, just the same way with our listings, we created different categories and attributes. You can do the same with your vendors. So let's create a few categories here. So you can, this will help you basically to break down as well the flow of your website. So for instance, here we could have dealers, we could have brokers, and perhaps private individuals. There you go. So these are our main categories. And now you can even add attributes as well for your visitors. So what could these be? Well, if we're talking about dealers and brokers, maybe do they have any certifications? You know, do they have insurance in place? Do they have any financing institution working with them, or things like this, you know? So let's go to attributes and let's create one or two together here, okay? So let's add a new one here. So let's say maybe certifications. Okay, this would be an important one, I suppose. So this would be maybe a checkbox as well. We could select multiple options and let's publish now. So this would work for brokers or dealers, but probably not for private individuals, you see. So let's click publish. Oh, sorry, we need to put the title here. So this is certification. There you go, publish. And now we can edit those options. So again, we're going to add the different terms. So I'm just going to make up things I have no idea. So CPPA, let's say this would be a certification. HEPA maybe, something like this. And maybe zero carbon. I have no idea. I'm just making this up, okay? It's just to give you an idea how this works. And now if we go back to our attributes again, edit the certifications here. And we can make these filterable as well, and you can show them in the front end. So this is the same principle as we had early on, okay? So let's make this filterable in the front end, indexable, and this would be a checkbox as well. So let's click update, and that's basically it. So if you go back to vendors now and edit Mr. Web again, if I put myself, let's say, as a dealer and click update, now you will see I have the certifications here. So I could be HEPA certified and CPPA, let's say, okay? So let's click update, and that's basically it. So you can do so as well with your vendors now. Okay, now let me show you how you can tweak this in the front end and help your visitors upload new listings. So if I click on this now, as you can see, all we have at the moment is basically the category, so which car manufacturers is it, and we have the image, title, and description. So we don't have our attributes here. So again, if you want your attributes to display in the front end, you'll have to select that in the back end as well, okay? So if you go back here, as you can see, we have all the listing attributes. So we have the price, the fuel type, the finance, and so on and so on. So let's open this one here, price. And as you can see here, we have editable, you know, it says allow front end editing. So this is what it is basically. So if we tick this box here and make it required, let's click update. Now if we go back here and refresh, you will see that now we have a new field here called price. So now they will have to enter the price as well. So let's do the same with another one. So we have all the options here. And again, do you want this to be editable in the front end? If this is the case, tick that box, update. Let's go back to the front end, and there it is. As you can see, when they will upload their listing, they will have to select some of those options, you know, and you can enter the price and so on. So let's do the same with all the different options here, all the attributes. So there you go, I've enabled them all in the front end. So let's go back here and let's refresh. And there you go. As you can see now, the category, image, title, we have all the options: mileage, engine size, the warranty, is finance available, fuel type, the price, and description. So now your visitors can upload a full listing themselves, and you can also approve it afterwards if you wanted to, okay? So let me create one very quickly here. All right, so let's say something like this. Okay, so I uploaded Audi A6 3.2D, have all the options here, that's the price, etc., etc. Now we can submit our listing. And now, as you can see, you have the confirmation. So thank you, your listing has been submitted now and will be reviewed, because this is what's in place at the moment. Now you can disable that feature if you wanted to, you know, this is really up to you. So if you go back here and we go to our listings here is our latest one. So as you can see at the moment is pending. So there's a two-step verification, obviously. Now, if you want to activate this one, all you have to do is basically click on it. And then here where it says save as pending, you can just publish it. And if you go back here, now it will be live, basically will be go live on the website. So this is really up to you. If you want full control over what's happening on your website, you can have this as well. So in line with this, let me show you very quickly all the different options in here. Okay, so we go to Wordpress settings, and this is basically where you can tweak everything based on your business model. So as you can see here, how many do you want to display per page, how many featured listing per page, how many related listing per page. So again, this is a matter of preferences, you know. So as you can see, if you scroll down, there it is submission. So allow submitting new listings. So this is in place, obviously. So your visitors can upload a new listing. If this is disabled, it's only you uploading listings, obviously, you know. You have moderation. So this is why this is in place at the moment. Manually approve new listings. Now, if you want the listings to go live immediately, untick that box, and that's basically it. They'll go live immediately, you know. Allow reporting listings. So if someone posts something that's not suitable for your type of website, or maybe a spam ad or something like this, you might want people to report that to you so you can take action immediately as well, you know. So you have expiration here. So do you want the ad to run out after maybe 15 days, 30 days or something like this? Again, this is really up to you. Click save changes, go to the next one. So then we have our vendors. So this is our section here. So these are the people who will upload on your website. So this is not you as the owner of the site, but anyone else, because this is a marketplace. Do you want to have them enabled in the front end? Yes or no? How do you want to display their name? Do you want to allow direct registration as well? Again, this is really up to you, you know. Yes or no, whichever. Save changes and then move on to the next one. And this is for your users basically, okay? So as you can see, allow user registration, generate username from an email address. Now, if you want a two-step verification, you can require the email address verification. So what it will do in this case, it will send an email to that person. So if I register, let's say using hello@mrweb.tv, it will send an email to myself. And then when I open the email, I have to click on the link and it will go back to this website, and then will be confirmed then, okay? And you can restrict to access the WordPress backend as well. So they will not access the backend at all, which is preferable normally, you know, and then save your changes and that's it. You're done basically for your settings. Now, let me show you some of the extensions available as well, you know, because this is a very comprehensive solution. So you can add bookings. So these are paid, you know, some of them are paid, and we're going to install a few free ones as well. So as you can see, you can add bookings for $39. So if you want people to be able to book online immediately, or maybe turn this into a membership website, you know, maybe you want to charge them a monthly fee to access your website, or maybe a yearly fee, in which case you can purchase this one, install it. It's only $39 US, you know, it's very handy. So if you scroll down the page, you can see these are free. So you have claim listing, geolocation, favorite, messages, paid listing, and reviews. So we could install a few here. Maybe you're going to install messages. So this will allow your visitors to interact between themselves, you know, maybe after hours, send a message to someone and wait for them to get back to you. And this one, you're going to install this one as well. So this is paid listing. So basically this will allow you to charge your users for adding new listing on your website. So what we're going to do is going to install this one, activate, and we're going to add the other one as well, okay? So there you go, you have two of them added now, paid listing and messages. And for the paid listing one, we need to add another plugin, which is WooCommerce, in order to process the payments, okay? So let's click add new. Here, look for WooCommerce. Let's install this and let's activate it. And now we can skip this setup altogether. No thanks. Okay, very good. So now if you look by the side here under the listings tabs, we have packages as well. So let me open this in a new tab. And this is basically where you can create your different packages or different plans and how much you're going to charge your visitors basically to upload their listings. So if you click add new, so we can create this very easily from here. As you can see, title, description. You can apply that to specific categories as well. And right here underneath, as you can see, you have the WooCommerce product. So you need to assign a WooCommerce product first, and then we can link it here basically, okay? So this is why I kept this one open. So we can go here into our products and we can create a new product, okay? So let's create one called maybe simple listing. So this is just a basic one. So you can put a description here. This is really up to you. So this is going to be a virtual product. And how much do you charge? So let's say maybe $2.50 to put up an ad, okay? And then click publish. Very good. And now we can create a new one, okay? So add new. And let's create featured listings. You can put a description if you want. This is a virtual product, and this one might be, let's say, $7.50. Okay, publish. So if you go back to our products here, we have our two products created. So simple listing and featured listing. Okay, so now we can go back to our actual package here itself. So we're going to create the first one. So we're going to call this one simple listing. Okay, you can put a description here. So perhaps something like this, just give a bit of information to your visitors what this plan is about, So this one is to have the car displayed for 30 days, and after that they can either renew the listing or let it run out. Then we need to apply this to all the categories. So let's select them here. And now we can link this to our WooCommerce product. So which one is this? So this is the simple listing limit. So as you can see, I've set a maximum number of listing submissions. So let's maybe set this to 10, maybe, listing expiration. This will be 30 days, like we said in our description here. This one will not be featured, and you can also have this as recommended package. So the favorite package, the most popular one. So let's do this, for instance, okay? And let's publish. And now let's go back to our packages. And now we can create the second one. So add new. And this is going to be the featured one. Perhaps something like this. Again, title, description, and the categories. And now we can link this to our product, featured listing. So in the description, we said this will be listed for 60 days. So we're going to do that again. You can set a limit maybe to 10 listings. And this one, we're going to tick this box here, make listings featured. And we're not going to tick this one because this is not our recommended package. Okay. And now let's click publish. Very good. So if we go back to the packages now, as you can see, we have two different packages available. Now you could also create a free listing if you wanted to. So your first listing is completely free, so you can test our platform. So enjoy. So you can apply this to all the categories again. This time I created a free listing with a cost of 0 in WooCommerce. And this you're going to limit to just one basically, okay? And the expiry after 30 days. That's basically it, okay? So let's click publish. So we go back to all our packages now. And as you can see, you have 3 plans available. Free one, simple listing, and featured. And now if we go to the front end and upload a new listing, as you can see, now we'll have to select our package first. So we can upload our first one for free. And then after that, it's a simple listing. And after that, it's a featured one. So it's very simple, as you can see. And now you can charge your visitors for uploading listings on your website. So next, let me show you how you can change the header, add your logo, change the menu section here, and then also take care of the footer section. Okay, so for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and let's take care of our logo first. So we go to Appearance, Customize, and as you can see here, we have no logo at the moment. So for this, we go to Site Identity, select Logo, Upload File, select File. So I found one online here, Auto Trader, and then select. And then you can skip cropping as well. So let me move myself. As you can see, skip cropping or crop image. So if you wanted to crop the image, all you have to do basically is to select the area you want to keep, and then you can crop. But we're going to just skip because we're going to keep the whole picture, the whole image here. Okay, skip cropping. There you go. Now, as you can see, this is way too big, so we have to resize that somehow. So we can't do this from here immediately. So what we're going to do is basically click on the image again, click on it, edit image. As you can see, the size is 1200 by 181, which is massive, So what we need to do is to basically resize this, okay? So we're going to scale this down. So normally a logo should be maybe 85 pixels in height. So I'm going to try 85 here, and it should be 564 in width. So let's try maybe 420. I think that should be normally about the maximum, So there it is, okay? Now you can save this, so update. Very good. Now we can close this one, and now we can select our image again. As you can see, it has been resized, So select, skip cropping, and there you go. As you can see, now it fits in nicely. Now a bit of a mess here. As you can see, our menu section is completely out of work, So let's exit out of this. Now we go to Appearance, Menus, and we're going to select the header one. So make sure you select header here, select. So this is the one. Now we're going to assign this as a header section, save menu. So let's have a quick look. Now if you go back here, as you can see, logo, and this is our menu, and you have all these different pages underneath, you know. So this is really up to you what you want to keep or not. So we might keep the home page, the listing page, makes sense as well. You might want to keep the vendors page. You can move them around simply like this, okay? And then whatever you don't need, you can bulk select and then simply delete them. So select those you want to get rid of, then remove selected items, and don't forget to click save, okay? There you go. Now if you go back here and refresh, so as you can see, now we have home, listings, and vendors page. That's basically it, okay? So now you can add whatever you want here. Obviously you can add any pages you wish. As you can see, you have the home page, we have the listings page, and so on and so on. So if you wanted to add a page, just add to menu, and then you can reorganize it the way you want. And if you want to delete one, simply click on it and then remove, and don't forget to click save each and every time, obviously, you know. Now let me show you a very nice feature. You can even add more to your menu section if you wanted to. As you can see, you have product categories. So these are the WooCommerce product categories here. And then you have categories and categories. So these are basically our listing categories and our vendors categories as well. So let's take these. Okay, now if you scroll down, as you can see, you have categories and categories. So if you open them, you will know immediately which these are, you know. So as you can see, these are all the car manufacturers. So maybe you wanted to add them as well as part of your menu section. So if you were to click on these, for instance, like this, and add them to the menu section, okay, so you could bring them underneath the listing section here, for instance, you know. So you indent them. So this is the category, subcategory, and then you do the same with the others. Just like that. Now if you save this and we go back to the front end, let's click on our logo. So we have the listings, and now we can select any of these. So let's go for BMW. And there you go. As you can see, all we have is the cars in that section. And finally, let's take care of our footer section here. So let me show you how you can change all of these. So if you go back to the WordPress dashboard, this time when you go to widgets here, so appearance, widgets. Very good. And as you can see here, we have all these different sections, and one is called site footer. If you click on this, you have two blocks, block 1 and block 2. So as you can see, this is one and this is the other. And this is basically what we have here, archive, and then categories. And now we can change this basically to fit our own requirements. So what you can do is either edit this and insert your own code, or delete it all together. So let's delete this ourselves. So delete. And now you can drag and drop any of those widgets here onto this section. So as you can see, we have custom HTML, we have categories, you have gallery, meta, images, pages, navigation menu as well, you know. So let's insert a navigation menu, for instance. We're going to add it here, select the menu. So you could select maybe the header one. So let's click save. Now let's refresh here. There you go. Now we have our menu section right there, and now you can add whatever you want, really, you know. So let's add maybe a bit of text. So let's drag and drop it, and now here you could put your address or contact details and type in your details here. So perhaps something like this, you know. And after that, click save. And now let's go back here and let's refresh. And there you go. As you can see, now you have a few links to all the different pages, the different categories, and also your contact details. So feel free to add whatever you want again to this section. So now one last thing we need to take care of. If you go back to the header here and click on the logo, as you can see, it's not redirecting to the home page, which normally it should, you know. So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard, we go to settings, and this time we go to reading. And right there for the home page, we're going to set this as a static page, and we're going to select our home page, which is this one here. Okay. And then click save changes. Very good. So now if we refresh this again, there you go. Now we have it properly done. Okay. So that's it, guys. This is how you can create a car listing website completely for free. Okay guys, so I'm really sorry I forgot to mention something. As you can see here in the demo, we have some details displayed immediately here on the home page. Underneath we have the listing, obviously, you know. So as you can see, you have the location, you can add any bits of information, the condition, the shipping, and the price as well. So I forgot to mention how to do this. So if you go back to your attributes, basically select any of them. So let's say you want to display the price, okay. So you scroll down here and we selected page secondary. So this is basically to display on the listing page, but you can also select block primary and secondary. So if you select block primary, this is basically the block that will display in the home page in any listing, basically, you know. So the exact same way we have here. So now that we added that, as you can see, there is no price at the moment. If I refresh, there you go. Now the price is being displayed here, as you can see at the bottom. Now, if you want to add another bit of information, let's say you want to add the fuel type, okay? So now this time I'm going to add this one to the block secondary, okay? There you go. So let's add update. And now let's click refresh. And there you go. As you can see, now we have the price being displayed and the fuel type right here. So you can add information immediately within those blocks. So these are called blocks. And now if you click on this, this is basically your page, okay? So this is how you can change things around. And let's say if I wanted to add the price right here on top as well here, you know, if I click on this one, for instance, I think the price is displayed right on top. If you want to reproduce this, let's go back to attributes. We go to price. And now I want to display this, and now we're going to select page primary, okay? Let's click update. And let's go and have a quick refresh. And there's our price right here on top. So there you go, guys. That's the complete tutorial now.